Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa. That's a lot better. As what happens was I turned my phone off, turned it back on, and then it started doing updates of all the update stuff that it has to do, and then of course that delays the talking and the mouth moving and the words and the sound. So can't have that. So we're gonna have to do it the right way. But anyway, as I was talking about, this is Pat's on Periscope for the 24th of August, 2015, Monday night. If you catch me on the replay, all right, you can also catch me on my video blog call. It's called randomaccess.bz. Just go randomaccess.bz and you'll see this broadcast Wednesday morning. That's why I usually re-air these is Wednesday morning. So that's what we can look for. And one thing I want to talk about today, we're going to talk about tech, we're going to talk about social media, and we are going to talk about hoaxes. And the hoax this week is just incredible because it's going to be this week and you're not going to want to miss it. And it's going to be the 27th of this month. And you're not going to want to miss out because it is so good. It's so great. And you'll just won't want to, I can't even wait to get to it. So anyway, but first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about tech. And lately what's happened is as I'm getting jobs like secondhand, is somebody will have a computer problem and they'll call their nephew or their cousin or their brother-in-law, and then they kind of botch things up, and then they call me. And then number two is they call somebody and some tech, and they botch it up, and then they call me. Or third, they get the wrong number. They think they're calling another tech, and they call me, which happened this morning. And so at that point in time, I got about a 10-second window to sell them. Next time, maybe just call me first. Thank you. And they hang up. And but lately I've seen a lot of techs on Craigslist, and boy, they can fix anything for $20, or they can fix anything, any virus removal for $30. And while that's possible, and you could do that if you wanted to do that, it's not very profitable with the viruses of today. The viruses of today dig in deep, and they don't just, you just can't run Microsoft security essentials and make them go away. It's a lot deeper than that. There's rootkits and all these bots that come up, and even the malware that is really out there that affects computers, where you see the 800 numbers pop up. Call us, call us, call us. And don't ever call the 800 number. That would be bad luck from the get-go. So, and a lot of people do call me after they call the 800 number and give them their bank account information. Again, do not give anybody on the phone your bank account information. Don't do it. Stop it. And I'm having a lot of people out there doing that. And older people, I don't want to be that way, but a lot of older people, they scare older people. When they call me, I just laugh at them, or I play along, or I record it, things like that, and then they end up hanging up on me. But with older people, they really do scare them. So if you've got an older relative, things like that, warn them about that. But getting back to my point is, if you're finding somebody on Craigslist to fix your computer for $20, and all they do to fix the computer is they erase the whole thing and start over, that's not really fixing the problem. That'd be like going to Jiffy Lube or an oil change place and saying, "I'd like my oil change, please," and them just putting in a new engine, which I need. But anyway, that's the point. Pricing out roofers or pricing out auto mechanics, sometimes the cheapest isn't always the best. And I can't stress that enough, that if you have somebody already mess your computer up, for me to undo their problem and then come back to the original problem you had, it probably is going to cost a little bit more. But think about it. If you had the Shade Tree mechanic fix your car and they mess something up, and you have to take it to the garage to get it fixed by an authorized, pick your favorite automotive dealership, then you're going to actually pay them more, and they have no conscience on what they should charge. Now, I have a little bit of a conscience. It used to be when they would call another computer repair tech to fix their computer if it was a virus removal, what I would do is ask them what they paid them and then I would probably, in some cases, split the difference between what I normally charge. Well, those days are more or less done. I don't do that a whole lot anymore, because anymore you're getting people at charging $30 to repair major rootkits and major things in computers these days, and so I don't do a lot of that. But yeah, it's one of those things, is you might as well pay to get the job done right, and 9 times out of 10 I feel that I'm the right person for the job. If I'm not the right person for the job, I did have a call the other day. I was extremely busy. I just could not drop everything I had and make it to Mason City to install. It was just a computer monitor for somebody. I called a person I trust, which I do have a list of those folks, and I had them go do it. And they billed the customer, and everything is hunky-dory. And the next time the customer calls, they will again call me, because those people that I refer jobs to know that if they hedge it on those people, there'll be no more phone calls. They'll be shut off right then and there. So anyway, if those other techs do anything that hinge on my business, then they're gone. So, but I call people who I trust if I have to subcontract the job out, or I can't make it to hook up whatever they have to hook up. So that's kind of my story on that. But again, if you're getting your home re-roofed, or you're getting your car fixed, a major repair, sometimes it may pay you to have the job done right, spend a little bit more money on that. So that's just what I have on that. I've had several reports over the weekend of people who have Windows 7 going to Windows 10, and that hasn't worked at all. I've had several people have told me the Windows 8 to Windows 10 seems to work a lot better, and it does. I've done that myself a couple times for a couple of folks as well, and it goes pretty slick. One thing you have to remember, if you're going from 8 or even 7 to 10, but more like 8 to 10, and you have a printer, you have to reinstall the new printer drivers. Those not always transfer over, so you may have to go to Epson or HP or somewhere like that and re-download printer drivers, because that's just one of those things that you have to do. And so some people are forgetting that and get into trouble. So that's where we're at on printer drivers as well. Social media. Let's talk a little bit about social. We have a couple of big classes coming up. There's going to be one in Morton, Minnesota at Jackpot Junction, one of my favorite places, Jackpot Junction, for the social media rockstar event, and that is coming up on September 16th. You don't want to miss that. I think it's like from 8 until 5 or whenever. Motel rooms are cheap. They're the casino cheapo rate. I think $45 a night on that. So you can come the night early and have a nice meal at the casino and meet some of the folks who are presenting. And then the next day we have the event. So that's a great event. Jason Falls, again, the headliner on that. And Sarah and her staff do a lot of work on preparing that for the folks up there. So make sure you take that in. Also, the Social Media Midwest Summit, that is coming up in October on the 24th. That's a Saturday. We'll provide more information on that as we get a little bit closer. It's a Saturday. It's an all-day event, and I believe we're doing something Friday night, I believe. So keep Friday and Saturday nights open. Friday and Saturday open the 23rd, 24th, but mainly the 24th on that. So, and this is a different view today. This is the, my phone was about dead, so I had to plug it in and aim the phone a different way because I didn't want the phone to die. Also about social, I'm seeing a lot of, in North Iowa, we have a page, and a lot of people think I run the page, and I don't run the page. It is other people running the page. It's called the North Iowa Rant and Rave page, a business rant and rave page. Something, if you typed in North Iowa Rant and Rave, you're going to find this page. And what it is it's a lot of people who have gone to businesses, and either they have very good service and they rave about it, or the service is lackluster and they rant about it. Now, the cool thing about raving about it is because everybody likes to be raved about. Hey, Pat, you did a great job. And of course, as a business owner, I like to have people post that on the internet. The bad part about having a rave posted on the internet is that somebody can come in and pretty much spoil the party if they really want to. Well, I had a bad experience and blah, 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 blah. And so that can happen once in a while. Somebody gets mad and doesn't like the rave, and what they ought to do is they ought to start their own thread of a rant against the company. But I've noticed a lot of companies now are fighting back a little bit. I did see a couple of rants about the local cell phone store up there. They're not a national chain; they're an independent. And the owners come back and said, now that you've said this, let me say that, is that A, you didn't pick your phone up in time, B, it had this, and this wrong with it, and C, your check bounced, something like that. They don't get that personal into it. But they do give reasons why the fee was what it was, or it took a long time, or what the delays were. So businesses, I'm trying to help educate businesses on fighting back on this, because nobody wants their business ranted about, especially when you've never called the business to let them know there's a problem. So many of these businesses are blindsided because they said, we didn't know there was a problem. You never told. When you picked the phone up, you smiled and paid the bill, and we never knew there was a problem until you've stuck that poison pen out there and started to rant about some business that didn't do you right. And sometimes there's some false blame paid out there, is that it not necessarily was the business owner's fault, but may have been a waitress or a server, some of those things. And what I'm trying to get business owners to understand is that server or the wait staff or the cook or whoever is as much of a face of your business as you are. And so even you may be the computer guy, but if your helper is rude to people or is not the perfect face of the company, then you may get raved about or ranted about, and you kind of don't have a defense over it. So I urge servers or waitresses, waiters, if there's a customer complaint that you're taking in the store or you're taking in the restaurant, make darn sure, even if it is your fault, that the owner or the manager knows about it, so they have a line of defense on this Rant and Rave page. I see a lot of people getting into trouble on this, where people are not calling the restaurant or calling the place of business first to discuss the problem. If you can get the problem hashed out offline first, that's the way to do it. If you come up there with guns a-blazing and you attack a business and they come back and shoot something back at you that makes you look foolish, you look foolish. And so that's kind of I've been very fortunate on the Rant and Rave page where several people have given me nice compliments, and I thank them very much for that. And there's certain people on that Rant and Rave page I don't want to do business with, because I can see every little time that there's a problem, they're ranting about, I didn't get a toothpick, I didn't have 7 ice cubes in my water, I didn't have 14 clean napkins, I had 12 napkins, and the 13th one was wadded up. I get these little nitpicky things that, to me, as a business, say, if I do 25 things right and one little thing wrong, that's what they're going to focus on the Rant and Rave page. And so I hate to do it, but I've kind of made a list of those, so I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know if I want their business. And there's a lot of people in North Iowa who I bet feel the same way when they see a person walking into the restaurant or their grocery store. There's going to be a problem. I remember working at the cell phone store, and every time customer X pulled up in front of the store, he never came in to say, hey, how you guys doing? You guys are just doing great. He always had a problem. And the sad part about it was he really didn't know how to read a cell phone bill very well, so the problem usually fell back on him. And that was sad, because it sort of made him look foolish in front of the whole store full of people. So when you want to rant about something, make sure that you talk to the business owner or the store or somebody first in management before you just get out there and give it to somebody, because that may come back on you. They always say you point your finger and there's 3 more coming back at you. Also, same way with rave. Raves are nice. You rave about a business. Sometimes people need that. They need a boost. I had great service at Buffalo Wild Wings, and Jess did a great job. And, their management may see that and think, great, that's a good face to have for a business. And so I encourage people to rave a lot more about businesses and build people up. If you get absolutely nowhere with a business. I know they had a problem with, I think, overhead garage door. Really overcharged a customer. All they did was change a battery in the remote for the garage door opener. Charged them a lot of money, but the service fee for the battery was only, with a battery and whatever, was like $35. And overhead door admitted their mistake, their oversight, their whatever, and they sent back the remainder of the money as a refund back to these people and just billed them just for the new battery and the remote control. So that's very nice. If businesses can learn that, and if people can work with those businesses a little bit more, that'll be a lot better for everybody in North Iowa. It'll make our business community in North Iowa stronger, because social media, some of these people do not realize how powerful social media is when it comes to business, whether they're raving about it or when they're trashing it. So keep that in mind. Hey, there is something I cannot wait for. It is coming up this Thursday. Today's Monday. Yeah, this Thursday, the 27th. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't let anyone ever take away your joy. That's right. And it is going to be a joyous, a monumental event. You're not going to want to miss it. It's the night that, well, I'll just demonstrate it here with a couple of CDs that I have, because this is my prop for the night. You have the moon and you have Mars. And the moon and Mars are going to be the same size. Yes, they're going to be the same size, exactly the same size in the sky on August 27th. You're not going to want to miss it. Both the same size. Really? We're believing that now? The bad part about believing that is Mars is going to be close, but it was closer last year, and we never had the mysterious double moon, Mars moon thing. So anyway, that is a hoax. Anytime you see that coming up on Facebook, you're just going to want to laugh at them and say, "Ha! I saw that on Pat's on Periscope, and you're fools." And yeah, throwing a plug for the computer guy. So yeah, it is not true. Mars and the moon will not be the same size. Now, Mars will be nice and visible if we have a clear night, if you're out in the country to see it, and it's going to be a real nice view. But it's not going to be as big as the moon. So just keep that in mind. So that's what we have for today for Pat's on Periscope, the August 24th edition. Many people are going back to school today, so be careful out driving. I know some schools are going tomorrow, and some schools are going next week. So just be careful if you're out and about driving. Those kids, they're not looking back and forth. They're just zipping to get to school, or running away from their parents, or their parents are chasing them. Parents are saying, yes, school, and teachers are saying, oh, school. But anyway, that's what's coming up. Anyway, we're going to replay this broadcast on Wednesday morning on my YouTube channel on randomaccess.bz, so stick around for that. And until next Monday night, this is Pat's on Periscope, the Computer Guy, www.thecomputerguy.bz. Check it out. Do computer repair in-home, in-shop, or remote repair. For those that need it, you won't find me on Craigslist.